It is another beautiful day in the beautiful city of Lagos, and it is your boy JOEL wishing you a good week ahead. I welcome you to today's class titled Classification of Sentences. We all know that a sentence is a group of expressions that has a subject and a predicate. It has a subject that does the action or that is discussed, then the verb, which could be transitive or intransitive. It may not have objects, adjuncts, or complement. But for today, we want to focus attention on the classification of sentences. Permit me to let us know or remind us that there are two major classes of sentences. The first one is called classification according to structure, and the second is classification according to function. Today's class focuses attention on classification according to function. What does the sentence do? So, what you are going to learn from this video or from this class today is basically on what a sentence does. We want to see some classes, for example, the statement sentence. Here we are going to group the statement sentence into various categories. So the statement sentence originally begins with a capital letter and ends with a full stop. Any sentence of that sort is called a statement sentence. But here, I'm going to bring out the classes of the sentences, whether they are statements or questions. So we start with the first one called the declarative sentence. The declarative sentence is a sentence of fact that gives information. It is indisputable. Every sentence given here is acceptable by all persons involved in the information flow. That is why we say that it gives information, it gives news or knowledge from a resource person or from the resource to the receivers. Look at this example. We have that Earth is spherical. The Earth is spherical. It is universally accepted by all involved in the information flow. We have another example. The sky is blue. So all these are examples of declarative sentences. We could give our own that is generally acceptable by all those involved. Mr. Joel is the coach of this medium. Excellent. It is acceptable because Joel is actually the coach. Those who do not know, we have to know. But look at the second type of sentence called the assertion. The assertive sentence gives personal opinion. It doesn't consider what others believe. Look at these two persons. One is a baseball coach. The other could be someone that wants to promote, a promoter or a sponsor. Now, we don't know what might have happened behind the curtain or behind the door. But look at what the coach is saying. Alex is a good baseball player. There could be a lot of other players better than Alex. And on hearing this, another player who is just what they are discussing open his mouth wide. You can see him at the top right left corner, top left corner. Hey, when did Alex become a baseball player? As if that is not enough, the coach adds, he is a humble man. Remember, according to his opinion, Alex is humble. But those who know Alex very well, does that player at the top level believe that Alex is humble? On hearing that, what happens? And he is rushed to the hospital. So you can see that that man was rushed to the hospital because of what? The expression. The third one now is the interrogative sentence that seeks an answer to a question given. So interrogative sentences are questions. We are going to see 5 categories of interrogations. The first one is called a polar question. The polar question could be true or false, agreed or disagreed, yes or no. But for this class, we are going to use yes or no. The yes or no question demands that you pick a yes or a no for an answer. For example, do you want dinner? You would either say yes or no. Yes, I want. No, thank you. The second one is the WH question. These questions are called the question word elements. This is the WH. Who, when, where, why, and how. So the answer to these questions give information. Who is the president of the country? You will give it. Where is the capital city of this country? You will give it. Simple. Where do you live? Where you live? Do I know it better than you? No, it is not opinion. It is a fact. I live at 32 Demo Street, Omole Estate. Fine, it's acceptable. We have this third type of question, choice question. Here, the answer to choice question is in the question. For example, do you want tea or coffee? You have two tea kettles or tea cups on the table. One has tea, the other one has coffee. And you are asked, do you want tea or coffee? Will you say rice or ice cream? Definitely is either one or the other or none. Is that not so? Yes. The fourth one is called the question tags or tag questions. Here we have a question that is attached to a statement at the end to checkmate its accuracy. For example, we have Mr. Joel is a good teacher, isn't he? Isn't he is a tag question that will checkmate the accuracy and we involve the listener to give his own opinion or to corroborate the thought of the speaker. And the last question is called the rhetoric. Here, the answer is obvious, and as a result, it does not have to be told verbally. Why is the government corrupt? Please do not come to arrest me. I did not mention which government or whose government. But if you think of any government, why is the government corrupt? Don't you know the answer? Don't I know the answer? Everybody knows the answer. So why should we give the response? That is called rhetoric question. Having concluded interrogative sentence, we move to this other type of functional class of sentence called the imperative. Imperative sentence has four functions. Ordinarily, they also begin with capital letter and they will end with exclamation mark. We have some that are used to give orders. Write your name, you are giving an order. Take a deep breath, you are giving an instruction. Have some tea, you are offering something. Make a request. Be quiet, please. So what you should observe here is that each of these sentences begins with what? A verb. Thus, every statement sentence that begins with a verb is an imperative sentence. Take that rule. And lastly, we talk about exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentence is a sentence that shows emotion or excitement. There are four categories of excitement or emotions here. We have the one that expresses joy. For example, I'm free. Maybe a child has been writing examination and now the exam is over. You see the child in jubilation. I'm free. I treasure you. That expresses love. She actually won. It's a surprise. And finally, you're late again. That expresses anger. You can see the mood of each of these persons. So these are exclamatory sentences. They show our mood, our emotions. What's your mood today? You remember that? Excellent. So by and large, we have learned that sentences have two major classes: structural classification and functional classification. And in this class, we just treated functional classification, where we have the statement sentence that begins with capital letter and ends with a full stop, which could be declarative, assertive, exclamatory, or imperative. Exclamatory also ends with exclamation mark, while imperative can also end with exclamation mark. Interrogative is a question. So once we pause the video or start over to watch this clip again, we will understand better if there's any area that is not clear. For further gray areas that need clarification, my number is at the beginning of the video and at the end of the video. Please feel free to chat me up or send an email for clarification. You can do well to also drop your comments on the comment box. It is free if you subscribe.
I beg in the name of God, subscribe!
Thank you very much for being there. It's your boy, Joel.